No matter rankings, whenever we play HCV, it's always going to be a battle. It's been like that for the last couple of years now.
We go hard all the way till the end, and we can't give up, and you haven't won the game till that final buzzer.
If I'm on, I feel like I'm one of the top goalies in the state.
Welcome to another edition of the North Dakota Varsity Sports Update. I'm Jody Norstedt. We've reached the point in the winter season where things really start to pick up. More meaningful games, win or go home scenarios, and pretty soon we'll be crowning state champions. On this update, we have another 1 versus 2 matchup on the hardwood. Find out who was left standing after Thompson and Hillsboro-Central Valley did battle again. Plus, she has one of the most powerful shots in the state. We'll break the ice with the leading scorer in North Dakota girls hockey, Abby Promersberger. But we start with boys hockey. We have conference tournaments going on. The EDC quarterfinals took the stage on Tuesday, but not without some more coaching news. A week after we saw Davies boys hockey coach Scott Peterson resign with one regular season game left in the season, Red River head coach Bill Chase was placed on indefinite administrative leave by the school on the morning of the team's EDC quarterfinal game. With all of that as the background noise, we still had hockey to play. The first game of the day at the Farmers Union Insurance Center was a 6-seed Fargo North against 3rd-seeded Davies. Davies adds to its 3-0 lead in the second when Connor Turnquist takes the long pass and burns everybody. Since when is there a turbo button in high school hockey? It's for Rip Davies. Interim head coach Dean Wilson approves. Eagles up 4-1 now. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful give and go. Turnquist to Jackson Bellerud, who scores on the backhand for a 5-1 lead. The Eagles are flying high heading into the third. Davies putting on a passing clinic. Austin Schmidt buries it, and the Eagles win big 6-1 to advance to the semifinal round.
Yeah, it's a really good feeling. Everyone was playing well, and it's a really good way to start off playoffs. I think our aggressiveness was really good today. We were playing hard, and we were also getting a lot of pucks on net and causing some traffic, so that was good.
I pay attention to the teams, and obviously Central's a front runner, but, I've kind of had an eye on Davies. They got a good balanced team. It's a lot of talent, and when that opportunity arose, I gone, wow. I thought I was never coach again, but yeah, I'm like a little kid in a candy store. I got last couple of weeks to hopefully we can keep working hard and give those guys a good opportunity.
The nightcap was a 7 versus 2 game. Devils Lake versus South Shanley. In the first, it's the Bruins making their own luck. Alex Senf grabs the loose puck and sneaks it past Regan Ruley, and it's 1-0. The shots were 16-4 in favor of the Bruins after the first. Second period, a little bit more back and forth. Ruley doing everything in his power to keep it at 1, laying out to make saves. On the other end, Zach Sandy doing everything he can to keep the lead. Sprawling out, making a nice leg save. But Devils Lake does end up scoring. Carter Schwab takes the pass from Braden Abramson and ties it heading into the third. Remember, a date with Davies in the semifinals is on the line. Early in the third, the Firebirds with their best chance to take the lead, but it rolls past Sandy, and that must have woken up the Bruins because a minute later, Tanner Kirkaby scores, making it 2-1. Then the floodgates open. A couple minutes later, Noah Johnson beats Ruley 5-hole. The Bruins punched their ticket to the East Region semis with a 5-1 victory.
We were really nervous at the start. We have some young guys, so they're gripping their sticks a little tight and couldn't finish. And coach's message after the second was just calm down and let's go and get this one. So.
Oh, it feels great. I can't wait to play Davies tomorrow. It'll be a tough one, but we beat them. We're already in the state tournament, so it'll be fun.
That's just the same thing we've been doing. Our motto is 51 minutes or more, whatever it takes. So that's what we have to do.
This is how the bracket shapes up now. The two teams we just saw, South Shanley and Davies, will go head-to-head in the semifinal round. Central dominated Grafton Park River to advance to the semis, while Red River won 3-0 under interim coach John Dvorak. So we'll get the rivals from Grand Forks in a semifinal at Purpur Arena on Friday. Meanwhile, Grafton Park River and West Fargo, they went to the loser-out game, and they'll be followed by Devils Lake and Fargo North in the other elimination game. The West Region tournament begins Thursday. Top seed Bismarck opens up against Botno. The Demons won the regular season meeting 4-1. Look for seniors Dane Sardelli and Caleb Petrie to step up for Bismarck. Jamestown and Dickinson meet in the 4-5 matchup. Jace Thompson has emerged as a playmaking sophomore for the Blue Jays. Second-seeded Bismarck Century squares off with the Williston team that the Patriots outscored a combined 12-2 in 2 regular season meetings. Century senior Nick Brown has been the best skater in the West this year. The senior has 47 points in 20 games this season. Minot and Mandan meet in the nightcap. The Magi have won 6 out of their last 7. They're playing well at the right time. We'll break down the girls' state tournament bracket next week. Let's get to hoops because we had some outstanding basketball games this past week. None better than 1 versus 2 in Class B boys hoops. Thompson and Hillsboro-Central Valley needed extra time to settle who's best in one of the top games of the year. The communities came out in full force to support these programs. Extra seats were brought in as they crammed into the Thompson gym. Late first quarter, Caden Schwabe dishes it to Pierce Cooper for the bucket plus the foul. Thompson up 8-4 at the end of 1. In the second, mama, there goes that man. Carson Henningsgaard with a nifty move through the lane, kisses it off the glass to cut Thompson's lead to 7. The Borough crowd, they've seen that a time or two. They've also seen this a few times. Schwabe late in the shot clock, no problem. 15-footer good, keeps the home team in control. But in the closing seconds of the half, Henningsgaard passes to Travis Doden. Check out the footwork and power move. The lead is trimmed to 4 at halftime, but Thompson continues to stay in front coming out of the break. On the fast break, Jacob Dick throws a lob to Hayden Overby, who lays it in to make it 32-28. Henningsgaard answers on the other end with some more smooth moves down the lane and finishes with the right to cut the lead now to 2. The Borough star led all scores with 23. To the fourth, Overby muscles his way to the and 1 finish. He goes for 20 to pace Thompson, and they're up 4 with a minute to play. After exchanging free throws, Hillsboro has the ball down 2 with 10 seconds left, and it's Patrick Limke who secures the putback to tie the game at 62 and send it to overtime. Eventually, it goes to double OT, where Chance Danner kicks it to Pierce Cooper as the shot clock expires for the long 2-pointer. That ties the game again at 67 with 2 minutes to go. Now we're down to crunch time, tied at 69 with just seconds left. They put the ball in the hands of Schwabe, and the senior delivers. The crowd goes crazy. The top-ranked Tommies hang on to win in double OT, 71-69.
So much fun. This is what I'm going to miss most about Class B basketball. This is, like I said, Class B at its finest. Hats off both communities. Our side was filled, their side was filled, and some on the corners had to bring out some seats. So can't say enough about both communities. It's a great game, and it was a good game to watch too.
And as a coach, it's always fun to coach in these games. It's a little stressful, but that's why you do it. And so it was fun, and I credit our kids and give credit to their kids too. It was just a hard-fought basketball game, and that's the way it's going to be when we play each other.
Everybody's played in big games for that plays for us, and we know how to mentally contain our excitement and emotion, and I think that's going to benefit us. But we've been in the position in the regional tournament where we're loser out, and we know that's not a very good feeling, so we want to change that this year.
Boy, like you heard in the interviews, the real shame is that only one of these teams will have a chance to make state, and that's if someone else doesn't spring the upset in Region 2. Grafton is right there too. That tournament is going to be absolutely full of great matchups. Let's head west now, where Jamestown has clinched the top seed and the WDA regular season title, but things are getting interesting in the race for second place. Century and Mandan entered Tuesday night's slate of games tied for second place, with Bismarck just 1 game back. The Demons hoping to close the gap with the victory at home over the Braves. The Demons not afraid to embrace the spotlight and the pressure, but it was Mandan hitting the shots early. Jackson Weiss drives and kicks to Keyshawn Laframboise for the first 3 points of the game. Weiss spreading the love early. Why not with Valentine's Day this week? Elijah Klein doing what he does best in the paint. Klein led the road team with 14 points. Joe Johnner had a tough shooting night, but he gets this tough fadeaway to fall. Demons within 3. Johnner ended up with 15 points. Will Madler received his Gatorade Player of the Year trophy for football earlier in the night. This was like a pump fake from his QB position. Demons fighting from behind early, but they eventually take a 4-point lead into halftime and withstand a few Mandan runs in the second half to win it 57-51. This is a look at the updated WDA standings now. The Blue Jays are going to be tough. All but one of their 18 wins this year have been decided by double digits. The 2 spot That's where it could get interesting. As we mentioned, Century has it right now, and the Patriots have won 8 in a row with Trayton Mattern and Cade Feeney playing exceptionally well. But they finish with 2 tough road games, at Mandan, who's only a game back, and at Minot. Now, Bismarck High's final 2 games are at Turtle Mountain and Legacy. Mandan closes with Century and Jamestown, so the top 2 teams in the conference. Good luck with that. So I'll give the edge to Century because they have the 1-game lead, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bismarck ends up in that 2 spot. The Demons defend better than anyone else in the conference, and the 3-headed monster of Joe Johnner, Canyon Stonecipher, and Matt Trolley give them a chance to be a serious contender as we reach the postseason. How about in the East? The past week, we've seen the top 3 teams slugging it out against each other. It started with a battle for the city of West Fargo as Cheyenne hosted West Fargo, looking to sweep the Packers and keep pace with Davies for first place. But the Packers, well, they had different plans. This game featuring 2 of the top 5 scorers in the conference. West Fargo's Luke Lennon leads the EDC at just over 21 points per game, while Christian Kuntz scores 18 tonight. The 5th-ranked Packers came out and absolutely blitzed the 3rd-ranked Mustangs, hitting shots from everywhere. Talented sophomore Carter Barincott hits the turnaround. Then it's Hunter Lyman showing range on that 6'8 frame. Then it's Lennon getting in on the action, hitting the hook over the shoulder. The Packers opened the game on a 17-5 run before Cheyenne called timeout after this Braxton Brewer bucket. Not much changed coming out of that break either. Good passing, and Lennon gets the floater to fall. The UND football commit finished with a game-high 20 points. West Fargo led 41-19 at halftime. Statement made. Mustangs just trying to get some sort of rhythm going in the second half. Tyler Terhark knocks down the corner triple. The Packers defense didn't give up many good looks from outside, so shooters like Kuntz had to work for their points. He earns 2 there, but it was all packed from start to finish. Lennon, the rebounding machine, gets the putback plus the foul. West Fargo wins 73-58 and gets a little revenge on the blue and orange.
The last game stung a little bit. They were killing us on the 3-quarter, so in practice we just worked on it. Worked on getting hand of face, moving the feet so we don't get beat, and it paid off tonight.
It was important for us to come out with intensity and to really do what we do on defense, trying to hold them under their scoring average, which we did. We made their shots really tough, and as you can see, they didn't really go in.
Following that outcome, it looked like West Fargo was destined to have a shot at taking over first place with a matchup against Davies looming on Friday. But on Tuesday night, the Packers got upset by Fargo North. Caden Ricard was on fire for the Spartans, scoring 26 of his 32 points in the second half, including the go-ahead 3 late. Meanwhile, at Davies, the Eagles continue to make life miserable on the Mustangs, dealing them a second consecutive loss by a final of 89-67. Bart Manson had 5 players score in double figures. That depth has really carried them all year. Brayton Mochenbaker led all of them with 23 points, including 6 triples. Meanwhile, Christian Kuntz scored a team-high 17 points for the Mustangs and became the first player in school history to reach the 1,000-point milestone. Here's what it all means in the standings. Davies has all but locked up the regular season crown with a 2.5-game lead and 2 games to play, but they'll probably be the first ones to admit that an EDC regular season title doesn't really carry too much weight after winning it last year but then failing to qualify for state. West Fargo still has a chance to win the regular season crown, but the Packers would need to win out and have Devil's Lake upset the Eagles. Cheyenne, well, they just need some confidence right now before they get to the postseason. We're down to the final week of the regular season. Hopefully you followed all that, because now it's time for Lookin' At You. And we've talked plenty about the boys' sports scene, so we're sticking with the girls' side the rest of the way. Mandan girls basketball team, I'm looking at you. The Braves will try to spend Valentine's Day breaking the heart of top-ranked and unbeaten Bismarck Century. Although they've won 17 games in a row, I feel like Abby Thomas's group is in need of a little jolt. Here's a look at some highlights from last night's win over Bismarck, a 57-47 victory. The Braves, though, just haven't been shooting the ball as well as they were earlier in the season, but now have the opportunity to spring that big upset against Lily Keplin, Lauren Ware, and that talented Century squad. The The Patriots won the previous meeting this year, 66-57, and have now won 5 straight over the Braves. The big three of Megan Zander, Kennedy Harris, and the emerging Lakin Darris need to be on their game for Mandan to get the upset. I'm also looking at you, Riley Payne. The Shanley junior guard scored a game-high 29 points on Tuesday night to help the Deacons beat Red River 72-63. The win keeps Shanley solidly in second place behind Devils Lake in the EDC. But I'm looking at Riley because she's putting together one of the best statistical seasons that you're ever going to see in high school hoops. At all of 5'10", she leads the East in scoring at over 20 points per game. She's second in rebounds at over 10 a game, fourth in assists, fifth in three-pointers made, second in steals, and sixth in blocks. The funny part is that this is the second straight year that she's filled up the stat sheet like this. She has been a remarkable talent since stepping on the floor as an 8th grader for the Deacons. So Riley Payne, we're looking at you. I'm also looking at you, Class B girls basketball teams. The region playoffs begin tomorrow, and we have 74 teams left with hopes of reaching the Betty Engelstad Sioux Center. Kidder County and Trenton each made it through the entire regular season with a perfect record, but I see this field as wide open. I legitimately believe that we have somewhere around 13 to 15 teams that could make a case for being the best team in the state right now. That's why the next 2 weeks are going to be a whole lot of fun. Enjoy the ride and good luck to all. Finally, we wrap up the show with some more hockey talk. The girls' state hockey tournament bracket will be solidified after Friday's Bismarck-Davies game, which will determine the 2 and the 3 seed. But the number 1 team, that'll be Fargo North-South no matter what. The North-South Co-op also can claim the state's leading scorer in sophomore Abby Promersberger, and she's our guest this week on Breakin the Ice. We are here at the Coliseum by Fargo North High School for Breakin the Ice. Our guest, sophomore for the North-South girls hockey team, Abby Promersberger, the leading scorer in the state, and also one of the leaders on this number 1 ranked team, Fargo North-South. First, Abby, you finished the regular season 20-0-1, go rolling into state. How much fun has this year been?
It's a lot of fun. We've been pretty positive this year, keeping good attitudes and working hard a lot.
You're playing with a great group, and I know last year was tough because you played well, and then you get to the state championship game and Bismarck beats it 3-0. How much fun has it been to come out here and be on a mission with this team?
It's been a lot of fun. That game really is it's been in the back of our minds all year, make us work harder to hopefully get that, take home that trophy this year.
Now we say you're unbeaten this year, undefeated, but that 20-0-1, that was a shootout loss to Bismarck. Obviously a 4-time state champion, 4-time defending state champion. Tell me about that game, because I believe you guys were up late and they rallied to tie, and how bitter did that leave the taste in your mouth?
That was a terrible feeling. We were working really hard the whole game until that last 2 minutes, and we kind of thought we had it. And then they came back and scored 2 in the last 30 seconds.
What did that teach you guys about yourselves? What did that teach you going forward now as games get even more important here once we hit the postseason?
We need to go hard all the way till the end, and we can't give up, and you haven't won the game till that final buzzer.
What's it been like working under a first-year head coach in Chad Christensen?
It's been a lot of fun. We had him last year, so it's not a big change, but there's been small things that have been changed for the better.
Now last year as a freshman, 25 goals, 9 assists. This year, 24 goals, 23 assists. Are those just numbers to you, or does that mean a little bit that you're getting over 20 goals every year for this varsity hockey team?
I think it shows that my team's been passing a lot, and we've been working together a lot with those.
Now if I asked you to describe your line mates, one word to describe your line mates. Caitlin Arman, describe her with one word.
Gritty.
Gritty? Nice. How about Tori?
She works a lot. She's a hard worker.
Hard worker. Your older sister, Anna, played at West Fargo 8th and 9th grade, then went to Shattuck St. Mary's, won 3 national titles, is now at Penn State. How much fun was it growing up following your sister's career?
It was really fun growing up watching her. It definitely made me work a lot harder, wanting to try to get as good as she is.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
So having an older sister and an older brother, I mean, what was that like? Because I'm the youngest of 3 boys, and being the youngest in the family, that's tough. They teach you a few things, don't they?
Yeah, it really pushes me to work harder, and watching them as examples growing up, wanting to work as hard as them and be as successful as them.
Well, let's go check out some of your skills on the ice. Abby, I've heard you have a booming shot. We'll have you shoot, and then we'll have me shoot, and we can let the viewers kind of decide who has the harder shot. I have a feeling I know who's going to win. But go ahead and take a shot. I'll get out of your way. All right, let's try another one. All right, now my turn. Do you have any advice for me as I try to shoot it hard? Like, how do you shoot the puck hard?
Just pull it back and curve your stick over. When you
curve your stick over?
Turn
like
it
that?
Over.
That's it. That's all you can give me? Maybe work out a little bit, probably. I should have done that. All right, we'll try, Abby. Well, how was it?
It's getting there.
Not very good. Not very good. All right, let's try it again. See, I did the curl over thing, but it didn't go as hard as yours. One more time. That was faster. All right, shoot it one more time. Jeez. How long have you been shooting pucks?
Since 2nd grade.
Well, then I don't feel as bad. Abby Promersberger breaking the ice with us tonight. Abby, good luck at state.
Thank you.
I think we need to go back to me shooting basketballs for the viewers' sake. Maybe we'll do horsing around again next week. Probably a good idea. Anyway, thanks to Abby for being a great sport, and congrats to all the girls hockey teams that qualified for the state tournament, which begins next Thursday at Shields Arena in Fargo. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next week.